This segment of the Chopin podcast is brought to you by the Chopin Foundation of the United States, dedicated to promoting young American pianists and making Chopin's music accessible to all. Chopin's Polonaises are at the apex of the composer's technical and soulful achievements at the piano. And they're also among the most gratifying of his works to listen to. But so many pianists have recorded these works that it's hard to know who among them meets the spiritual demands of this music. Luckily, Jed Distler is here to offer his recommendations for the best recordings of Chopin's Polonaises over the past century. Jed has listened to untold thousands of piano recordings in his life and written about many of them for Gramophone Magazine and ClassicsToday.com. He is the host of WWFM's weekly radio show Between the Keys, and in 2021, he was the official gramophone blogger of the International Chopin Competition in Warsaw. At the end of each episode of the Chopin podcast, Jed will share his thoughts on an exceptional recorded cycle of the given genre, as well as a memorable recording of an individual piece within that genre. Here are his picks for Chopin's Polonaises.
Among my favorite complete cycles of the Chopin Polonaises, I gravitate toward Maurizio Pollini's recording from the mid-1970s. Now, this might surprise some people who think that Pollini was a cold and calculated Chopin player. He was not at all. These performances have incredible grand design to them. They have rhythmic integrity that is just unassailable in each and every piece. But what's interesting is the way he plays the big A-flat Polonaise that everybody knows. He brings real gusto and freedom and flexibility to this that channels Arthur Rubinstein's famous version. And if you played the Pollini recording for someone and didn't say who the pianist was, they might even guess Rubinstein or even perhaps Horowitz. But this is a really surprising and very gratifying entry in Pollini's discography. For an individual recording of a Chopin Polonaise, I think one of the most gripping and dramatic performances I know of any Polonaise is with Vladimir Horowitz. brought this back into his repertoire. Maybe he played this for the first time in his life. I'm not so sure. But he was playing this in the fall of 1967 and in his early 1968 concerts, most famously at his televised 1968 concert. And here, Horowitz is on his greatest demonic form. The tension he generates in the central Polonaise episode, you feel that something is going to happen. Even with the relaxation, there's something underneath. And then sure enough, with those octaves that rush up the keyboard, it hits you like a tsunami. It's extraordinary, extraordinary piano playing. It's small wonder that among pianophiles, when you say the F-sharp minor Polonaise, the Pavlovian response is Horowitz.
Thanks for listening to the Chopin Podcast. If you like what I do, consider supporting my Patreon, where I've been posting bonus content with many of the guests who've appeared in this series. For this episode, that includes lengthy supercuts of scenes from my interviews with Garrick Ohlsson and Alexander Gadzhiev. On the next episode of the Chopin Podcast, we turn to Chopin's most significant large-scale works, the sonatas. As always, the episode will star Garrick Ohlsson and feature Jed Distler's recording recommendations, And we'll also feature special guest Martín García discussing Chopin's lesser-known First Sonata. And we'll be joined again by 3 returning guests, Juliana Avdieva for the second straight episode, as well as musicologist Jeffrey Kahlberg and pianist Eric Liu. Stay tuned.